Hello everyone, Dekzeh here. I'm back with another narration for the CALLOUS Invitational 5 play-ins. This is a match between Watermess on the bottom, or just Mess as I will call him, and Super Epic Emperors, or just Sia for short. The two players are first-timers to the tournament. They have won their first game, and neither have played in previous iterations, right? Yeah. Anyway, both here should be looking forward to making it to the main event. So let's just hop into the match. Tyranitar lead for Watermess. Oh, I love this lead because there's just so much going on turn 1, right? Jinx is such a high variance Pokemon. So Jinx could Lovely Kiss, and then it depends if it hits, it could miss. Jinx could also just go for an attack move here. If there's like a Dekzeh in the back and you're really reliant on removing Tyranitar from play. You could just go for the sub and scout what happens. It could be like a Perish Trapper for all I know. So yeah, Jinx is always fun. There are so many possibilities in this turn. I can't cover everything. Let's just see what happens here. We see a Magneton from Mass into a Lovely Kiss miss. That's the high variance that Jinx always has. And we see another miss. That's just unfortunate. But Thunderbolt, not Thunderwave, so Sia gets to try again if he wants to, which he does. I think this pretty much confirms that Sia doesn't have a Dekzeh in the back, right? So the Magneton switching to Jinx is kinda weird because Jinx is very often paired with Dekzeh, and Maz was really risking his Magneton there. The switch there on a Thunderbolt would have been mostly free, but yeah, let's see what happens this turn. Sia could stay in and force through damage, she could just double. We see a Skarmory from Ez on a Jinx, that's not ideal. As we see a sub. So Skarmory is like a 3-hit kill, close to hit kill. Yeah, 45% around that mark. He goes for spikes rather than Whirlwind. That's crazy to me, because like this is so risky. Like, I mean, I guess you can't really play around crits and all that stuff, but if the Jinx crits here, you have to face a Jinx with a team that appears to not be much prepared for Jinx. Behind a sub. That's just so risky, just Whirlwind it. Don't spikes here, please. As, yeah, Sia doesn't crit, so we are fine. We see the roar with Sia fucking Hypno, hello? What does this even tell me? What does Hypno do? I mean, I'm just playing. Like, this has a lot of cool moves. It gets Taunt, it gets Calm Mind, it gets Baton Pass, it gets Hypnosis, it gets Wish. Could be a defensive set that's like a Brilliant counter. Could be some sort of stall breaker. I guess like Focus Punch. I don't even know. As we see Baton Pass into Zapdos. Okay, I'm getting Baton Pass team vibes here from Sia. Maybe not like a full-on Baton Pass, but definitely some chain going on there with the Hypno and Zapdos. We see Roar. Back into Skarmory. Sub. Oh my god, does this then... Wow. Really bold call there by Mass. I was about to say, I think this Zapdos... I think this is like just a Baton Pass team. I think this Zapdos doesn't have an attack move. It has shown Roar, Sub, definitely has Baton Pass, and I'm thinking Agility. So staying with the Skarmory to Roar there, it's kinda wild, but I like it. But yeah, also there's Swampert switching onto Zapdos. Like, the entire thing that I get from Mass thing here. Mass had no good Jinx switch-ins. His Zapdos switch-in was a Swampert, and then he tried to Roar with a Skarmory. It appears to be very soft to special attackers. So I would imagine... What do I imagine in the back? Definitely no Blissey, definitely no Snorlax, no nothing like that. Maybe an Aerodactyl, maybe a Flygon. Flygon could make sense, like a Superman style team-ish. With a Magneton, and then like Gengar, something like that. Could be Aerodactyl and Gengar also. But yeah, we'll see Roar into Jirachi. So Jirachi must be the sweeper in this team, right? He gets past like Calm Minds from Hypno and Agility from Zapdos. And then he does some stuff. So Fire Punch, I imagine HP Grass. Yes, we see HP Grass. On a non-leftovers Tyranitar, which must be Choice Banded, as it is, which just kills. Zapdos gets in, but like I said, the Zapdos is not doing anything. There's a Swampert. Wait, why did it go Swampert? So yeah, we see the full set here. The last move has to be button pass, right? So why go Swampert rather than Skarmory? I imagine Swampert also has Roar, that must be it. Because otherwise it's just a throw. But yeah, Zapdos has Roar. So wait. Should Mesa just attack there? Because he has seen Roar and Zapdos is faster. And now Sia gets to BP out that +2 speed. But into what? What would be the defense booster here? Looks like a full-on BP team, by the way, which is hilarious. I guess Hypno is like the Mr. Mime replacement, now that Mr. Mime is banned to Ubers. We see a sub, that confirms like everything that we already know. Should baton pass here on a double edge. Wanna see a Mawile here. Iron Defense Mawile, no, that's a Vaporeon. Vaporeon gonna take a lot. I guess it does get to acid armor here. So there is that. Yes. Oh. This is an important turn. I wanna pause here. The Tyranitar is choice banded, we know that. You can go for Rock Slide. You can go for Focus Punch. I think as Vaporeon here, you have to acid armor one more time. Pretty sure that's the best possible play. Because you know this is a choice bender, it doesn't have Roar or anything like that. And Vaporeon must be acid armor, baton pass, Roar, sub, I imagine. It probably doesn't have an attack move. If it has Surf, you just go for it, right? But it definitely has Roar. So I imagine you just go for the acid armor here again. What would be the last, if not, like, what's your backup sweeper? That's not Jirachi. Because the idea here is you get another acid armor, right? And Tyranitar probably focus punches, and then you can baton pass into Hypno, and then you can Calm Mind. And I think Seal would be in a good position if he does that and doesn't get crit, but he goes for a sub. Okay, yeah, that doesn't work. Because now Tyranitar just spams focus punches. I guess just go Hypno here, but it should take like a lot. Yeah, 27. So yeah, if he had gone for the second acid armor, that damage would be halved. Which means Hypno would definitely get one Calm Mind here, and maybe a sub. I think this must be like sub, baton pass, taunt, Calm Mind, I imagine. Maybe Hypnosis, something like that. But Tyranitar is free to spam focus punches. Yeah, I think if Sia had gone for the second acid armor, he was in a good position to win, as long as his final Pokemon can take a focus punch. It's a Hariyama. I guess a bulk up Hariyama, that's like a sweeper? I don't even know. So Brick Break is a Tyranitar, but it should be over here. There's no way a +2 speed, +2 defense Hariyama wins. Swampert exists. Doesn't even outspeed our Decto, most likely. Skarmory exists. Yeah, as we just see Roar for Swampert. I think this is a good game. I wonder how this would have played out had Sia went for the +2. I guess it doesn't matter, because it's not like the Hariyama is sweeping. I was thinking it was a special sweeper. If it was a special sweeper and he managed like a Calm Mind pass off on top of +4 defense and +2 speed, he was in a good position. But yeah, as it was played, not so great. Cool win by Maz, was really well prepared for baton pass. Also, this is the first time we see baton pass this year, right? After the Mr. Mime ban and stuff, not the most popular archetype. But yeah, we see a Hypno, and Sia is just a very creative player overall. Let's just hop on to game 2. Still Maz on the bottom, Sia on top. What do we see now? Hariyama lead from Sia and Zapdos lead from Watermess. Interesting matchup because, again, Zapdos is like, assuming standard sets, right? Zapdos is kind of favored, but at the same time it doesn't like getting knocked off. And then there's wild stuff that can happen, like a Choice Band Drill Peck could kill an offensive Hariyama, a Choice Band Rock Slide could kill a Zapdos. So the most likely scenario turn 1 here is always Thunderbolt from Zapdos, knockoff from Hariyama. And neither are very happy, but neither are very sad with that outcome. Let's just see what goes. We see a Drill Peck, non-choice band though, so Hariyama lives, and a knockoff. So Hariyama is weakened, that's important because the Tyranitar in the back, not looking so great. We see a Salamence switch on what was very likely a Thunderbolt, I don't like that. And there was a Blissey in the back. I guess you didn't want to switch your Blissey on a drill pack, but honestly, Blissey on drill pack with no sand, no spikes, no residual damages, no nothing, you can just go hard Blissey. You don't need the Intimidate pivot. Anyways, Skarmory on an Ice Beam gets a freeze. Mass appears to be having just a typical bulky-ish team. No, not really. There was a Mix Zapdos. Mix Zapdos with spikes goes really well. Sia though, that Salamence took a lot from Thunderbolt, so I don't think it's like a max HP defensive version, but Wishmance goes really well with Hariyama. Sia Tyranitar on Bliss on a Fire Blast, that's a good call. And Hariyama is low, so can't go into that. We see a Metagross. So Metagross plus Hariyama plus Mance, this kind of build here with those three means you can just not run a bulky water despite being a defensive-esque team. Means you kind of get to skip on a bulky water, right? Because those three together do most of the stuff you expect your bulky water to do. That doesn't mean that Sia doesn't have a water type, it just that means that he can skip. It's very likely to there be a Swampert there though. If there's one, it's like a Suicune or a Milo. Starmie makes sense too. But that Crunch Crit, almost didn't talk about that. We see there's a Choice Band Metagross. Brick Break was a good move, good mid ground, hit the Skarmory. We see a Bliss on a double 2 Gengar, very good play. Don't want to let Mass get the free turns, but yeah, I was thinking that was a free Tyranitar switching. Sia is pulling up some good doubles, also good on Mass to go to Jirachi rather than Tyranitar, despite this being most likely a Fire Blast. Because had he gone Tyranitar, he would have let Sia capitalize on that double, which is what he wanted. So this entire sequence of switches that by Sia was to get his Tyranitar on Mass Tyranitar, which indicates to me this is most likely a physical Tyranitar, has Earthquake or Brick Break, most likely Choice Banded, but not necessarily. And Jirachi in this build by Sia has to be a especially defensive version, the Wish Protect, and then we don't know the rest. Could be Body Slam, Fire Punch, Toxic, just the usual. As we see a Protect, and Tyranitar goes for Fire Blast, so it's a special one, it's not a physical one. I guess he must be super fast with Brick Break, and he liked his matchup against the other Tyranitar. I guess he also doesn't have much for Tyranitar with Hariyama and Metagross both really low. Okay, we see a double to Metagross on a Wish. Oh, Skarmory's getting back to full, and back to Tyranitar. So Tyranitar here from Sia looks kinda threatening. Like if you click the right move, nothing appreciates it. But what would be the last mon by Mass here in this scenario? Honestly, I don't know. It's probably a water, like it could be a Swampert, it could be a Milo. Yeah, I'm most likely expecting water type from S here. How does this team like win? I guess just rely on spikes and mix Zapdos. Okay, makes sense. And from Sia, what would be the last? Probably a spinner, so I'm guessing Starmie. But I guess like if with this kind of Tyranitar, maybe a Fortress. But I think Starmie makes more sense because you kind of lack offensive presence. Yeah, I feel like Sia needed more out of the Hariyama in this game, so maybe he should have swapped out on Zapdos turn 1. It's really hard to make that judgment call though. As we see a Tyranitar on Crunch, so Tyranitar on Tyranitar, and both seem to be special. We see that Sia has the faster one, but Mass has the Brick Break and increase. That crit probably matter. Sia would leave one most likely. Then Metagross, yeah, I think this is looking very grim for Sia right now. Goes to Skarmory. Then to Jirachi. That's scary, but Fire Punch should kill here, assuming it has it. We see a Mance switching, makes sense. On a Wish, that was a ballsy Wish. Also not a very necessary one, I don't think. We see Brick Break from Mance, so probably a mix version. And Tyranitar on a Wish. I mean, Brick Break kills here, but there's like a possible Gengar switching. Yeah. Gets the Wish from Metagross, that's good, because Metagross is like his most threatening mon right now. Had to make a call there and Earthquake the Jirachi, I think. But I guess you don't want to risk Will-O-Wisp on Jirachi. So we see a lot of switching, a lot of doubles. The Torrentar is back on Blissey. This Torrentar is kind of a big threat. And he just goes for Brick Break. I guess it doesn't do anything to Blissey, so unless he crits, Sia should be alright here. Probably gonna see a Soft Boil on Brick Break. And Blissey wins this matchup as long as it doesn't get crit on the right turns. Which I guess Mez is just going for it. And I guess he doesn't have much else for Blissey anyways. And I guess like he's also healing the Torrentar in the process, so this looks fine. As we see a Starmie from Sia as I expected. Okay, so Jirachi should be the Starmie answer in this kind of team, right? So you go see a Salamence on the Jirachi. This is a mix, so maybe it has Fire Blast. It does. Doesn't do anything because especially defensive Jirachi. And Body Slam crits. So it's looking kind of rough for Sia here. Maybe an offensive Jirachi, an offensive Starmie could do really well. But I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see what Sia could have done differently to avoid being this position. He really needed to get more of the Hariyama. So he couldn't let that Hariyama take the Drill Peck turn 1. But like, you can't really know it's a Drill Peck Zapdos. It's really rough. And Mez hasn't even revealed the last mon just yet, so... Also, the fact that this Blissey doesn't have a status move is what allows the Torrentar to kinda beat it. As we see another crit on Metagross, that's just unfortunate. Yeah, Sia hasn't been getting good RNG on his favor. It has been all in Mez's favor. But I think even despite that, I think Mez was just like advantaged throughout the game. We go back to the Torrentar on Blissey matchup, which, as we were just talking about, Torrentar is most likely to win. He has more PP. Yeah. And Blissey can't start out. As we see another crit, that just adds salt to the injury, honestly. But Torrentar should win that matchup. And the Starmie is... Wow. What damage was that? That was 45% from a Surf. Hello, there's no special defense boost on Sandstorm here. Is that like a specially defensive Torrentar? That's crazy. That's so little damage. That's like a specially defensive Torrentar and a defensive Starmie. So there was no coming back from Sia here. I was thinking maybe a very offensive Starmie could luck its way out. But no shots. Also, yeah. This Surf did as much damage to a Zapdos than to a Torrentar. Can we discuss that? That seems so wrong. As we just see Zapdos cleaning up here, killing the Starmie and finishing off the Hariyama. Very dominating win, 2-0 for Mez, and he advances to the next round. Still looking forward to making it into the main event, and Sia says goodbye. Was a fan favorite for sure, but this is the end for Sia. Hope you enjoyed the narration. That will be it for me today. Goodbye, everyone.